What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Stocks continue to dip today, guys. And the question is, how far will they dip? Well, here's the headline. Stocks close lower, hit by AI valuation concerns. NASDAQ drops 2% after Palantir earnings. Stocks fall on Tuesday, pressured by declines in artificial intelligence related names like Palantir, as investors grew increasingly concerned about valuations in the bull market leading shares. The S&P 500 declined 1.17% to close at 6,771 points, while the NASDAQ composite traded down 2.04% to finish at 23,348. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 251.44 points, or 0.53%, to close at 47,085.24. Palantir shed about 8%, even after the software company beat Wall Street's estimates for the third quarter and gave strong guidance, fueled by growth in its AI business. The stock, which has risen more than 150% this year, trades at more than 200 times forward earnings. That means investors in that name and the other AI stocks expect the companies to keep ratcheting up their profit and revenue forecasts by large multitudes in order to justify investors continuing to buy the shares. That sounds like some really good propaganda to me. The whole purpose of the stock market, guys, is to go up. But you notice how from time to time, 2 or 3 times a year, these 1%ers will throw in this propaganda about, oh, they're overpriced. But 2 weeks ago, they wasn't overpriced. A week ago, when y'all were running NVIDIA through the roof and you was running Palantir through the roof, they wasn't overpriced. But now, all of a sudden, they're overpriced. Okay, let's keep moving. Oracle, which sports a forward PE of more than 33, moved almost 4% lower, chipping away at its almost 50% gain this year. But it's too expensive. Chip maker AMD, which has more than doubled this year, lost nearly 4%. Other AI stocks such as NVIDIA and Amazon pulled back as well. AI stock gains have driven the S&P 500's forward price earnings ratio to above 23, near its highest level since 2000, per fact sheet. As those stocks have lifted the broader market to new heights in recent months, this is coming from an expert and analyst at Ameriprise, said in an interview with CNBC that without a pullback, evaluations are beginning to get really stretched. Again, that's just 1% propaganda, guys, in my opinion. The whole point of the stock market is to go higher. The last time I researched this and looked back at history, the stock market started at 0 one time, and it's been going up ever since. Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't have a period of correction and a period of consolidation. It does. But normally, that's manufactured by the 1%. Occasionally, it's not manufactured by the 1%, not 100%. But in most cases, This is all manufactured by the 1% in order to do what? To get you to sell when you really should be buying, and to get you to buy when you really should be selling. That's the whole point of this thing. Because a week ago, you didn't hear any of this about high evaluations, markets being stretched. You didn't hear any of that talk, did you? Now all of a sudden, they're ready to do what? Run this thing down so that they can run it back up again, and you got the propaganda coming at us. We haven't really seen any major corrections or any real pressure on stocks since April. The firm's chief market strategist said, profits are good, but I think investors are starting to ask themselves, based on the pace of capital expenditure, investments from some of these key big tech companies. Are you going to see the profit growth over the next year to justify the levels of CapEx? Oh, the hyperscalers, the mega caps are spending so much on AI infrastructure build out, but we don't see any return on that. You may not see return on that at all, guys, but that doesn't mean Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, right? Nvidia, Tesla won't go higher. These are the most valuable companies in the world, guys. They're gonna go higher. That's my opinion now. I'm not an expert here. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm giving you my personal opinion. Please go out and do your own homework and come up with your own conclusion. But my conclusion that I personally come up with is this is all propaganda to get you to sell when you should be buying and get you to buy when you should be selling. That's how the 1% continue to widen the wealth gap. That's just my opinion. Comments from chief executives at Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley added to the loss of confidence among investors Tuesday. Overnight, Goldman Sachs' David Solomon said it's likely there'll be a 10 to 20% drawdown in equity markets sometime in the next 12 to 24 months. Additionally, Morgan Stanley CEO Ted Pick said we should also welcome the possibility that there would be drawdowns to 10 to 15% drawdowns that are not driven by some sort of macro cliff effect. I don't know what none of that means, but one thing I can tell you, in my 30 years, the whole purpose of the stock market is to go up. And what happens is periodically you'll get these guys come out and propagandize you into believing that, oh, the world's coming to an end. When in actuality, it's not. What they're trying to do is buy the dip, and then they're going to run this thing back up. Now, that's my personal opinion again, guys. That doesn't mean it's true. I'm just giving you my personal opinion. Go out and do your own homework and come up with your own opinion. Wall Street is coming off a mixed session as the S&P 500 and NASDAQ both end Monday higher, while the Dow fell more than 200 points. More than 300 stocks in the broad market index closed in the red the previous session, adding to concerns about weak breath, I don't know what that means, and high levels of tech concentration, particularly after the number of S&P 500 stocks that gained last month was smaller than the amount that declined. Breadth in the market has been pretty narrow for the last several months. This is coming from that expert. If there is a slow momentum or near-term downturn in AI or tech, there really aren't other areas that have performed as well. And if we don't have a lot of clear data on the economy and profitability across the rest of the S&P 500 isn't as strong, where do we go? That's what they're saying now. But a week ago, they weren't saying any of this. But this is how the 1% try to trick the 99%, in my opinion, guys. Again, all my opinion. I'm not an expert. I'm just giving you my opinion, my personal opinion. but I'm gonna give it to you because it's my YouTube channel. And I believe this is all to do about nothing. Companies go higher. That's the whole point of companies. Why would a company exist unless they're trying to go higher? That's what companies do. That's what the stock market does. It goes higher. If you go back to April, when they pulled these Liberation Day shenanigans and things went down drastically, like they're saying right now, within 2 months, guess where they were at? All-time highs again. This is what they do, guys, in order to trick us to do what? Buy when we should be selling and sell when we should be buying. That's the whole point of this whole propaganda thing they got going right now. But I guarantee if you go look at the buy activity, the 1% are buying right now. That's my opinion. You guys go do your own homework and figure it out. Drop me some comments down in the comment box and let me know what you're going to do. Y'all already know what I'm going to do. I'm buying the dip. I'm going to keep executing the blueprints. And I'm just going to be long in this thing because history tells me if I'm long in it, it should be okay. Don't mean I will be, but history says I should be. If you stop by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy. Get wealthy. Catch you guys on the next video. Peace. Moo is going to give you some NVIDIA stock when you open up a new Moo brokerage account and make a deposit. All you got to do is get down to the first link in the description box. That's the Moo brokerage link. Click on it and get all the details on how you can get some NVIDIA stock. Don't delay, act today. Second link down in the description box is the Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon. Guys, all we do in that community is help each other build wealth, get to financial freedom and passive income. If you want to be a part of our team, all you got to do is click on that second link. It'll take you over to Patreon and then come sign up for the fastest growing financial community on Patreon. We'll call the Wealth Builders.